requirement every single time we appear on camera. Lovely to see you still here in Carlingford in Ireland. It is Sunday morning. Big night last night in Armed Gods 3, the Valhalla card. Absolutely incredible event. The whole day was filled with arm wrestling. They had a tournament earlier on in the day, and then after that there was the pay-per-view Valhalla card, and what a card it was. There was 17 matches between some of the top guys from around the world, and we had some legendary names like Tim Bresnan, we had Ron Barth, there was Ryan Bowen, there was RVJ, there was Mindaugas, there was so many amazing arm wrestlers that were competing on that show. And yeah, it was an absolute pleasure to be part of it, to be here, to see it all take place in person. And yeah, there was so many good elements that happened. And one of the reasons that we wanted to come over here to be part of an Armed Gods event was we knew that the atmosphere and the audience being part of that was something special. It really translates well across to the pay-per-view when you're watching that, and you're like, man, I'd love to be in that room. And yesterday, I was lucky enough to experience that, and what an atmosphere they were able to deliver, and what an incredible job that they did. I mean, all the lighting and then the camera work, it looked amazing. They had fireworks going off. They had Jake Ward, the Aussie arm wrestler, is doing the emceeing, and as always, doing a tremendous job with that. We saw amazing arm wrestling that took place between awesome athletes. All the matches were very competitive, and we had one. There was actually one of the matches was an absolute war, where one of the guys had to say timeout and run out of the room and throw up and then come back again. That's how hard he was pushing himself in that match. But yeah, overall, it was an absolute tremendous experience, and highly recommend that if anyone is interested or available to attend an Armed Gods event in the future, if you're an arm wrestling fan or have any interest whatsoever in arm wrestling and Armed Gods is anywhere near you, that you make sure you get along to this, because you will be thoroughly entertained. The night culminated with a thumbtack match, which is the first time I've ever seen that take place, between Uncle John and Evan Burgoyne, the beer man. Yeah, it's very different, and obviously they left that match till the very end because they had to change out the what are they called? The pin pads, not the elbow pads, the pin pads, for ones that were completely covered with thumbtacks. And good job to Fox 8 Ball for doing that. I went with him to the stationery shop that was here in town, and he's like, we need more thumbtacks. No more, as many as he got, just keep bringing them out. He had to super glue them all over, and it was lethal. It looked like something from the medieval days. So yeah, it was crazy. I'm just going to check a message quickly here. Yeah, great. Okay. Just waiting on somebody to send me a message, a specific message, but that wasn't the right one. We have somebody who's joined in the chat. Who is it? Let me know who you are. I can see that you're here. But yeah, a tremendous event, and so awesome to see that in person. So the day started for me fairly early. Oh, we've got 3 people here. Say hello, everybody. Let me know that you're here and watching. And it's so good to... hopefully some of the people that I got to meet last night. Usually whenever anybody in the arm wrestling world goes live, there will be a certain group of people that will, no matter who it is, they'll always be in that group. So, and I met a lot of them last night. Wonderful people, and really great to be able to put a face to the name. That's another reason I wanted to come over here, was because I knew everyone that in those streams was going to be here at this event. I was like, man, I get to meet some amazing people, and that's what happened last night. Yeah, so the night culminated with the thumbtack match with Evan Burgoyne and Uncle John. Crazy moment. Yeah, they left that match obviously till last because yeah, they had to change out the pin pads, and then as the match concluded, there was thumbtacks everywhere, all over the floor, and they had to move people back, you know, from when the match started to make sure that they didn't get hit with a flying thumbtack. Oh, there he is. Fox 8 Ball has made an appearance. Great to see you. Oh, all day yesterday you were doing a tremendous job. I was just saying about the pin pads that you put together, and what a great job you did there, and how you're running back and forth to the stationary place and getting all of their thumbtacks, and they had to go out the back to get more thumbtacks. But yes, tremendous job. Yeah, what an event. I completely agree. Tremendous event. They started early for me. Was in there around 10 a.m. Well, actually, I got there probably about 9:30 or something, just to sort of help a little bit with the setup. And yeah, the tournament was kicking off. They had three different weight classes: under 80 kilos, under 100 kilos, and over 100 kilos. But the difference was that they had a novice class and a professional class. They didn't really state exactly what the parameters were to compete in novice or professional. And I had, when I entered the tournament online last week or something, I sent a message to Paul and I was like, which one do I go in? Am I a novice or am I a pro? And he said, well, how good are you? And I was like, I'm bad. So we'll go in the novice. And then when I got there yesterday, everyone's like, are you doing the novice? You shouldn't be doing the novice. I'm like, they told me to do the novice. So I don't know, but it was a lot of fun. Yeah, ended up winning 4 matches, lost 2. Well, it was double elimination. So there we go. And Fox April says he got 6th place on both arms. I wasn't last. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well done to you, Fox. Great job. And it would have been great to have seen you actually wear the whole Fox costume while you were arm wrestling. But it was great to see that you jumped on the table. I didn't know that you were a competitor. So yeah, awesome to see you get on. And White Wolf as well. He jumped on in, I think it was in the super heavyweights. I reckon he was in the over 100 kilo class. But and it's always just fun to just jump into a tournament and have, you never know what's going to happen. I mean, but yeah, obviously you're getting 6th place on both arms is a tremendous effort. I don't actually know what position I came in. My very first match, it would be fun in the mask. Absolutely, probably couldn't even see the actual hand. My first match was against, I believe he's like a world champion in WAF from Georgia, and he was 65 kilos, but he was very, very experienced, and he was in the novice class. Anyway, so I got him first up, and obviously he flash pinned me. It was the usual story for me. I'm like, yep. But then yeah, managed to get 4 wins in a row, which was absolutely tremendous feeling. And it was funny because the man who was running the bracket, Dan Earthquake, he yelled at me. He's like, Matt, come over here. I need to talk to you. Okay. And I'm in trouble or something. I went over there and he goes, when you win your match, you've got to come over here and let me know you won. I was like, I've never won a match before. He's like, really? I'm like, yeah, that's why I went in the novice. I've never won a match in a tournament. So he's like, well done. Great. So yeah, but rolled through. I had 4 more matches after that. Dan Quake, he's fantastic. And then one of the guys, I can't remember his name, but he was wearing a blue shirt. He was very powerful, very quick off the mark, and he got the pin on me there as well. But maybe it was 4th for me. I'm not sure. I'll see if I can find out. But I didn't mind. I was going in there more for fun, and it was just great to get on the table. Yeah, great experience doing that. The fun thing was just prior to the tournament starting, I'd been helping set up some chairs and stuff like that, and I went up to Paul Maiden and I said, look, is there anything that I can do to help? Just let me know, like I'm here if you need me for anything. And he goes, no, I'm okay at the moment. I'm like, no worries. And I went and sat down, and then he came up a couple of minutes later and he goes, oh, actually, here you go, take this. And it was a microphone, like one of these clip-on ones. And I was like, what's this? And he goes, go and sit over there and talk to Dave. I'm like, all right. I'm like, hey, Dave, I'm Matt. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm just doing the commentary for the thing. I'm like, I guess I'm commentating as well. He's like, yeah, I don't know. I'm like, okay. So we just started doing this commentary for the stream. And it was a lot of fun. It was great. One of the things is because we weren't familiar with everybody that was competing in the tournament, especially not me. I didn't know many people at all. We ended up sort of creating nicknames for most of the guys just based on what they were wearing or how they looked, just purely for our entertainment. And it was one of the funniest things I've been a part of. I was laughing for probably 3 hours straight. We had the Nipzilla, and I felt terrible for Nipzilla that he ended up with that nickname. I knew it was going to go that way as soon as Dave brought up the singlet that he was. God, I'm even going to call him Nipzilla. He's gonna hate me forever. Uh, this gentleman that was competing had a singlet with a very wide gap here that was very see-through when he would lean forwards. You could see his chest, you could see, And Dave pointed that out. Then I was like, "Oh God, no! He's gonna get a terrible nickname." And then somebody in the comments, I think it was Taryn Broad, said Nipzilla, and Dave's like, "Oh, Nipzilla," and then I was like, "Oh, no, it's not good for him." But it was funny, and I hope if he does watch that stream back, he doesn't hate us. I didn't want it to go down that way, but we did have some other good nicknames. We had Button Flash Beard, because he was wearing his top button done up, and he had a very nicely kept beard, and he was flash pinning everyone, so that sort of rolled together nicely. We had Biceps Man, who had a gigantic biceps, looked like a gymnast. His biceps were probably the same size as his actual head. His arms were enormous. Plus, he kept coming up because he kept winning. We had the lawyer. We had Mr. Sharp. I don't know. We were just being silly. It was great. It was a good time. And I was competing, obviously, as well. So when my class came up, like Dave said, "Oh, do you want to go and I don't know, get ready or whatever?" And I was like, "No, I'm fine sitting here." Like I was sort of warming my arm up as I was just sort of sitting there, but I'm like, I'm not going to be doing anything different if I'm standing over there. And you're going to take the microphone off like when you do your matches? And I was like, "No, just leave it on. It'll be funny. You can get live commentary live from the table." And so I did. I left it on, and I was like, have to be conscious that I don't like yell into the microphone or whatever. Completely forgot about that as soon as the match started. And I've rolled. I think it was the second match because I got flashed in the first one. The second one, yeah, huge yell straight into the microphone, and I didn't even realize until I got back, and I was like, "Oh, that probably blew out the audio for everyone listening." But whatever. I haven't actually watched it back yet. I want to see how it came across. But we had a good time. We got 7 people in here. Would love to say if you're in here, say hello. We'll see who's here and see if it was anyone that was at the event last night. We met so many amazing people. Fox 8 Ball was one of them. He's in the chat there as well. And yeah, there were so many people that came over from different areas of the UK with their very difficult 45-minute flight compared to my 24-hour flight. And I think I was talking to one of the guys, the lawyer, Martin, I believe his name is, and it was like 2 a.m. because the event went very late because it was a very big card. And it was like 2 a.m., everyone's still there, we're drinking, whatever. And he goes, "Oh, we got to catch a flight at 6. And I'm like, "It's 2." And he's like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, well." And I'm like, "How long is the flight?" And he's like, 45 minutes. I'm like, "That's nothing. You can't even drive from Carlingford to Dublin in 45 minutes." So, yes, I forget that everything's really close in this area of the world. In Australia, everything is far away. The closest city from where I am in Adelaide is Melbourne, and that's a 10-hour drive. So, it's just very different. But yeah, if you're in, say hello. I'd love to get some comments that I can reply to, keep the conversation going. Valhalla 3, the Arm Gods event that was on last night, tremendous event. And yeah, we saw some legendary arm wrestlers that have been around for many, many years that made their appearance. We saw Ron Barth, who has literally been arm wrestling for 42 years, which is how old I am. I'm 42. He has been arm wrestling my entire life. So that's absolutely insane. And he, yeah, put on a performance last night against Ryan Bowen. And what a great match that was. A lot of very defensive positions from Ryan trying to get back in the match. And he was unable to get the win, unfortunately for us. But well done to the legend Ron Barth. And it was a very close match, which is the best thing, really. I mean, the the worst possible thing when you have a match is that you just get flash bin. And it's probably the worst way to win as well, because unless it's a tournament or something, you know, what do you learn from just bang through somebody, say 3 or 4 times? It's like, well, what can I work on from that? Whereas if you get in, you know, some back and forth, and it's like, oh, when they were in this position and I had to get that, and oh, I'm going to learn about this, you know, those are the moments where you can actually come back better. Getting flash banned is horrible. It's just literally, you could have never trained in arm wrestling and you would have the exact same result. It's like you put your arm there, they say go, and you lost. It's like, I could have not done anything. I've been training for 5 years and I would have the exact same result. So it's like, what do I work on? I don't know. I don't even know what happened. I was pinned before the referee had finished saying go. So yeah, it's insane when that happens. But yeah, a great match between Ryan Bowen and Ron Barth there, and yeah, we had some wars that happened on this card, and RBJ as well, obviously getting the win comfortably. Would love to see a match between Ryan and RBJ in the future. I think that would be a tremendous match. We saw BLM, who got a victory there as well. There were so many matches. It's it was like I wrote it down to try and remember. It's like, you know, when you get a massive amount of information at once, and it's like, what was that thing? You're like, but overall, it was a fantastic experience. Big thank you again to Paul Maiden and to Marcus Thompson for putting everything together, and you know, putting us up in the competition, and just all the little things that they did. Yeah, these guys deserve your support. You can still go to armgods.com, and for $4.99, you can sign up to their monthly subscription, which gives you the pay-per-view event. Well, it gives you the Valhalla event, as well as everything else on the website, all of the training seminars, all of the previous Valhallas. For $4.99, it's absolutely insane. It's as Jake Ward says, they're almost ripping themselves off by giving it away so cheaply. But it would be great if you do support arm wrestling. Go and support Arm Gods at www.armgods.com. They deserve it after putting on big shows like this. But yes, I think I'm just going to go down and catch up with Ryan. We're going to have some lunch and discuss the match from last night. I didn't get much of a chance to talk to him after the event, or after his match. We sort of would start to talk, and then a few people would come up and you'd get distracted. But yeah, overall, I had a fantastic time, and it was definitely worth the 3 days of travel to get here. And I met some amazing people. So thank you to everybody, and I'll leave it there. Thanks, guys.